right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
That's a little more like it, Giants fans. All righty, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network, where the Giants put a thumping on the Atlanta Braves tonight, 9-0. We'll break it all down. We'll tell you what it means, what we think it means, and get into it. Fun game tonight, but one game, and we'll talk all about it. But first, let us thank our sponsor of the show. As you know, Chapman Law Group, located in Marin. If you got the drill down, licensed in all of California, give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs, whether it's evictions, you need documents, you need living trust, you need, legal representation, or you got yourself into a personal injury situation. Chapman Law Group, they specialize in that personal injury. Give them a call, 415-613-9483. The call's free. The consultation's free. You got a family member that you know of that got injured, work, somewhere, anywhere, just give Chapman Law Group a call, 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, guys, a big win. Let me get the band off. There we go. Let's get to the comments, as we'll get to your comments shortly here. Bryce just hit a bomb. It's happening. All right, Senior reporting live from Sutter Park in Sacramento. Going to be emailing me the video here shortly. We'll see if we can get it put into the machine and break it up. We got to break it into an MP4 and all that. But Senior on the scenes at Sacramento. Bryce starting to launch. Is Bryce coming up in mid-August? We'll see. Good thing. Good to hear those things. And you bring up Jelly and the streak's over. There you go. We did hear Kai Ting was supposed to start tonight in Sacramento, got scratched. I don't know what that means. He's not on the 40-man roster. We may get some reports a little later on before we end the show, but is he on his way to Atlanta? Is he already in Atlanta? Kai Ting is Kaiway on the Kaiway to Atlanta? We'll see if that's what the deal is. It might be a nothing burger, but guys, Giants played well tonight, and we'll give them credit because they smacked the ball all around. They were going against I wouldn't even consider him a AAA pitcher. This guy was just really, really bad. Really bad. Daniels was his name. What was his first name? I can't even remember. Something something Daniel. Dylan Daniel or whatever it was. Let me see. What is this guy's first name? Davis Daniel.
Back name with a forward name. That's why we were confused.
Yeah. Davis Daniel. So, but tonight, guys, the stars of the game. Let's get right to the stars, Lou. There was plenty of stars tonight to choose from. I'm going to go. Well, you know what? So we don't steal. I'll go first, then you go second and third. Okay. I'll take the 1, you get the 2, 3. And then I'll do the 2, 3. I'm going to go with Landon Roop as my number 1 star. The guy pitched in a furnace, gave the Giants much needed length, and was able to go 5 shutout innings, walked only 1, 6 Ks in 5 innings. Landon Roop, my star of the game. Who's your number 1, 2, and 3?
Well, I definitely think, considering everything, I know I don't normally do this, but considering how bad and what an embarrassment we were last night, and we did a 540-degree difference, I'm going to give my first star, because I don't really want to repeat Roop, the whole entire offensive team. because they played a complete game for the first time probably in 3 months. Complete game defensively, mentally, and offensively. So my star of the game is going to be the whole entire team, because I say it a lot. You win as a team and you lose as a team. So that'll be my number one star. My number two, I think, is the key tonight. Is I thought might have been the farthest ball I've seen a Giant ever hit. I thought Casey's bomb. And I think because of the situation where the way the day was going with Chapman, I don't know if it hit the chair. I'm not sure what it was. I'm not sure anything. But the Giants were sort of upset, right, about the whole situation. Wilmer got the sacrifice fly, but really what completed the inning was Casey's complete embalmation. I mean, that ball, I'm not even sure where it even went out. It was such an unbelievable hit. It reminded me of sort of like a Bonds hit. It was probably the farthest ball I've seen all year. And
he has some serious power.
Yeah, and two things. I thought it was unbelievable for two reasons. The chat has been down on Schmidt, but it's baseball, but he launched, and I thought the great comment, finally, the announcer said, if they ever needed somebody to hit a home run in a home run hitting contest, I would do Casey, because he demolishes the ball. So I thought that was really big of his hit, because, he's been sort of in a slump, but I thought that homer was beyond belief, and I thought it really completed the inning. So he's going to be my number two star, and then my star, I guess I'm going to have to go for Wilmer. I'm not going to give Chapman, but I thought Wilmer, because I know who you're going to use, and I wanted to use someone different than you're going to do. But I thought Wilmer hitting that big tank at the end, because to tell you the truth, he's been sort of down. And I thought this was a game where maybe Casey's big hit can bring him to the next level, continue on tomorrow and the big series with the Mets. And then I thought Wilmer has been sort of down. Yeah, he gets the hits, but he hasn't really hit a homer in a while. He hasn't really done anything. I thought it was key. So that's who's going to be. So the whole team offense, my number one star. Number two, Casey. Number three is going to be Wilmer. How about you? Who's going to be your 2 and 3?
All right. I had one for Landon Roop. Number two, I'll stick on the pitching side. Joey Lucchesi comes in and struck out 3 the other night and strikes out 3 again tonight. I think he's 6 for 6, right? His last 6 batters.
Good pick.
Joey Lucchesi, the guy is just a strikeout machine. And he's found something with that. What do they call that pitch? A clur? What was the name of that pitch? They
kept saying it was weird.
I can't remember the name of it, but someone in the chat will remember it. And my number 3 star tonight is, I could go with Chapman, but I'm going to go with Devers. His first game ever at first base. He's seems to be excited about playing the field, and he comes up with 2 hits, and he goes 2 for 5. And, we got a quote here from Rafi Devers. Let me see if I can pull it up.
While you're doing that, are you amazed how he's such an easy swing? What I mean? When Devers hits, it's just nice and easy, which is nice to see him come back.
Yes. Let me see if I can pull up this quote by Rafi Devers. At Underdog, that's what I want. There we go. All right, I got to just find it. Here is the quote. This guy's could mean some positive things happening going forward with Rafi Devers. I always thought about this myself. Guys that just DH and they sit there all day and wonder. He's Rafi Devers following his debut at first base. I'm the kind of player that likes to be active, that likes to be on the field. I'd rather be on the field than in the cage hitting all the time, just thinking about the next at bat. I think that's huge. This guy's played third base his entire career. This is his first year being a full-time DH. You get guys in the field. I would hate to be a DH when I played. I loved defense, Lou.
Yeah, I think
And I know you
mentally,
did too as a
yeah,
catcher.
I love, the one thing is being a DH is like being a stopper. You got to have the mind for it, and you got to be so disciplined, and it's so mentally challenged because, it's the only way you can contribute. You're sort of the offense, you're a DH trying to get the big hit, and then you got to think about it. When you play the field, you go right out, you don't have to think about your last at bat. I think it takes someone very unique just to be a DH. And, that's being National League teams until recently, we never had to go through this. But, that's what made, David Ortiz so unique. He was an unbelievable DH. Tino Martinez for Seattle were great players, but it takes, you got to have a great mind and you got to have a lot of discipline. And, I'm glad he's playing the field. It's something different, just something to get him going, I think is the key.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. I'm looking for a video. Let me see here. Hold on.
And Dan, while you're doing that video, we've always been saying, and I know you really have been harping on it, you want to see Flores as a DH. And you saw tonight a big example.
Oh, absolutely. DH
he
only. I don't
it.
want to see him in the
Yeah,
field.
Yeah, exactly.
My one of the things that has me a little bit concerned about, the Giants have a lot of times scored quite a few runs and skunked a team, and then the next day they come out and do a goose egg or something. But this guy, Davis Daniel, he had pitched tonight in one game started, and he had a decent ERA, but this guy's had 7 different starts over his career. He's pitched 47 innings and 2/3, given up 48 hits, 26 runs. He's had a ERA of 4.72 for a career. This guy had very little velocity and didn't have much command of his pitches. So the Giants were just sitting on, pitches. And I think this guy, tomorrow you're going to face, a Cy Young caliber pitcher in, Spencer Strider. And this guy's, coming off Tommy John, taking a while. He's just starting to hit his stride, Spencer. I mean, no pun intended, but Spencer Strider, if they can beat Strider tomorrow, this is a huge win tonight. This will be, and if they win tomorrow and take 2 of 3 and take the final 2 of a difficult opening road trip in the second half, it will be a positive, uplifting flight. The team will come back feeling, on a high note. They go out and lose tomorrow. They finish 1-5 on the trip, and they got the Mets staring at them for 3. That's not good. So we can all get excited about tonight, but to me, I'm cautious, Lou, because it's going to be tough. Now, somebody's saying, Ben Bamboo, it's not going to be Strider. Did they change that? Let me look at the pitching matchups here.
I have Strider against Verlander.
That's what I heard. Who says not going to be Strider? Ben Bamboo. I don't know. Where are you getting that information from, Ben? Yeah, I got Strider on ESPN. If I look at MLB.com, MLB, let's see what MLB has. Tomorrow's games. Hold on here. 1 second here while I do this. Tomorrow, they've got Strider going tomorrow as well. So I don't know where. Oh, typo, he said. Okay, yeah. It is Strider. Okay, yeah. So, and you got Verlander, who hasn't won a game in 17 starts with the Giants. Odds favor the Braves pretty heavily, I would believe. So, Giants, like I say, they win tomorrow. They do what they done all year. They keep scrapping their way back into things. So they're back to what? 5 over. They're 53 and no, 4 over. They were 3 over. Oh my gosh. They got to 52 and they were 52 and 49. My gosh. So they're 53 and 49. The beautiful chicken says, "Stop it. Not going to win tomorrow. Stop it." Who's saying they're going to win? Anthony says Verlander gets lit up tomorrow. Hopefully he gets DFA'd Friday morning. They scratch Strider. Asslander will get blown up, and the lineup thinking about the flight home will squeeze out 3 hits. Yeah, it's hard. Pessimism is tough when you're a Giants fan. I mean, not tough, but you live with it because we've seen this before. They get 9 runs and you watch. This is typical. You get 9 runs and they'll not be able to scrap out hardly anything tomorrow and they'll lose a low scoring game.
Yeah. And then I think the other thing is, you saw tonight, they were almost giving the Giants an excuse because how hot it was. How hot do you think it's going to be tomorrow? And you got the old guy going Verlander. I mean, it was like 94, but I think they were saying it's 7:00 and it was still 90 degrees. So, hopefully it's a little bit cooler tomorrow because I don't want to hear, because of the weather, Verlander couldn't get loose or because of the weather, Verlander just didn't have it. I don't want to hear that.
We're going to get an update right now. Atlanta tomorrow. We got some possible showers, 55% chance of showers, and they have to get this game in because there is no
tomorrow
trips back to Atlanta. Giants have Thursday off. Let me just see if the Braves have Thursday off. Wouldn't that be something? The Giants have to stay overnight for Thursday because the Braves have Thursday off as well. So if this
They'll
game
wait all
somehow
day tomorrow. Yeah,
they're going to try and get it played tomorrow, whether it goes into the evening, and that would just suck because that would kill the Giants' day off. But the forecast for the game is, let me pull it back up. Showers in the vicinity. Let me see what
Matthew says it's starting to rain right now in Atlanta. Matthew, are you in Atlanta?
Yeah, Matthew lives in Atlanta.
Okay, thank you for the live update.
The forecast is for tomorrow, 55%, like 30% chance of rain at 10 o'clock, 32, 24 at 11, goes up to 55% at noon, then drops to 33%. The game time is at noon, right, tomorrow?
Yeah, correct.
So it might get delayed an hour. There's not much rain in the forecast between 1 and 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow. 15% chance pretty much the rest of the afternoon. So the big rain's supposed to hit right around noon, right around the start of the game. And it might get pushed back an hour or two. So we'll see.
Dan, for you, it's on the MLB network, but locally it's on NorCal Sports Bay Area.
Or NorCal, or okay. No. It's on NBC Sports Bay Area.
And MLB Network. We just don't see it out here because MLB, they can't show the game locally.
Right. Yeah, I get every game, whether it's Roku or Apple or MLB, I get it all. So, but yeah, this was guys, this is something, to be, you take the win and you say it's a good win. They played with more intensity. What'd you guys think of the Ramos blowing past Matt Williams, he didn't even see him. He turned his shoulder, looked at
Never even looked at him.
Acuna. And this has been a problem all year. I've been talking about Ramos never looks at his third base coach. He just runs. It's almost like he's one of those little, what are those little kids that you watch in T-ball that doesn't know where they're going? They just like they tip the ball toward the pitcher and they run and tackle the pitcher. And Ramos just looks like one of those crazy kids that just runs the bases and doesn't know when to stop.
I think the biggest thing, from last night's game and tonight, and then you see that is, if it was someone like Bochy, they would sit him tomorrow and say, listen, if you're not going to follow our team concept, then you're going to sit. Like nobody was responsible for any of those problems last night. Here's Ramos, who's supposed to be a leader. He went, in fact, it was so funny. They showed the replay 3 times, and Matty's like this. He just went right by him because I think, how we talked about maybe this team has sort of lost respect. The players aren't respecting the coaches. Well, that's a perfect example. Now, I'm not going to say it's happened. Maybe he says, hey, I'm going to score. But, it wasn't like it was 1-0 and they needed that run. He just sort of did it on his own.
What was the score at the time? 4-0?
Yeah, I think it was 4-0. So,
yeah, like Dallas said, why is Williams putting up the stop sign? I mean, his judgment has been just so bad this year. He's sending guys that are out by 30 feet, and then he's putting up stop signs on guys that should be taking risk. I don't know what the heck. Williams just seems like a guy that is having a rough go with.
This is worse than Wendell Kim. If people in the chat don't remember, Wendell Kim just couldn't put his arm stop sending people home, and then they basically told him, hey, you know what, thanks for the year. I mean, we have big problems with our coaching staff, our manager, and everything. So I think, at the end of the year, of course, you're going to sit down, but I do think there need to be some changes.
If Matt Chapman had done that, there'd be nobody questioning it, because you say, oh, aggressive base running, way to go, the veteran just playing aggressive. Ramos was playing aggressive. You had a 5-run lead. He probably saw where Acuna was, and he saw, I can beat this. And it really wasn't that close. He slid clearly.
He made it easy.
Yeah, I mean, and then he gets yelled at and chastised. And I understand you're going to get chastised anytime you don't do something the coaches tell you to do. Chapman's up to 241. Where he is. Ooh. He's at his lifetime. All right. Chapman might be in his hot streak right now, guys. He might be in his 2 to 3 week window. And if that's the case, it can help the club. It can help the club.
I thought tonight too is you had Roop really keeping the bat silent for Atlanta, but we kept adding on. I can't remember the last time a game that we won, not a game that we lost, like the other night when we came back to make it 7-6, where we led, 4-0, and then we added on to make it 7-0, and then we added on to make it 9-0. And that's one of the things the Giants really have been sort of lacking, is these add-on runs when you have the lead. Like tonight, I never thought Atlanta was coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. It was good to see. Good to see.
Yeah, Roop was, Landon Roop is a guy that's a tough dude. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the things on Landon Roop. He's a guy from North Carolina. He's an outdoorsman like Mad Bum, and he likes to go hunting. And at one point, he dealt with a bear like right in front of him, and he had to just kind of stare down the bear. But this is a guy that has this dog mentality, which is you want. Now, he may be running out of innings soon, but he might be able to fight through it. He's built tough. He doesn't have that wimpy frame. He's got more of that Matt Cain type frame, a little bigger guy with some bulk on him. He might be able to push through and get to close to 150 innings this year. I hope that they don't push him to the point where he's damaged goods after the season.
Yeah, good call.
Because that is my concern. Now, I think they're going to ride Roop through August. And if they feel like they fall too far back out of it, I think they'll pull back on him. So,
Dodger
yeah,
just died in Minnesota.
I think he's. Producer Ryan says mad bum. That's exactly what I was saying. Mad bum vibes. This guy is tough, and these guys with the with this mentality, of being in the tough part of the country, the woods and stuff of North Carolina, it really does make a big difference. Let me see here. Hold on one sec. Okay, here we go. Let me pull up a double by, I'm going to pull up a little Bryce Eldridge highlight, guys, from senior
So he had a
softball
homer
game.
and a double tonight?
I believe so. Do we have, I don't know if we have the homer yet in, but it is, let's see. All right. Here is, let me see. Where did it go? Do we have it? Hold on. Do I? Hold on. Maybe it's on my, let me do this. It might be on my page here. Okay, 1 second here. I got to pull this up. What are we called? NorCal Sports Network, right?
You are correct, sir.
NorCal. There we go. See if it's on here. I don't know how to find it. He sent it to me at NorCal. Why is it not showing up on my all right. For some reason, I'm screwing things up. Keep going, Lou. Pull up. Let's see if I can.
Why Dan's looking at this. Yeah, no, I thought tonight was a huge win considering yesterday, but really it all depends on tomorrow. 2-4 on your road trip is a lot better than 1-5. And, I think it'd be great if they can come out tomorrow, somehow get, take Thursday off and then be ready for the Mets. I saw today they are down to 3,000 on Friday night. Sunday is almost completely sold out. And Saturday, they're down to 2,500 tickets because the great Stephen Curry is throwing out the first pitch, as well as the Stephen Curry bobblehead. So if any of you guys are going, yeah, Rich Hill started tonight. He made an attempt. He looked like he hadn't pitched in 3 years, and the Cubs torched him. So we did see that, JC. Yeah, but, Rich Hill, I mean, my God, he's the oldest starter ever for Kansas City since the great Gaylord Perry, one of Dan's favorites, to start for Kansas City.
Yeah, number 36, Gaylord.
Yeah, so.
Yes. All right, I'm still waiting on that thing to pull up.
No
that
problem.
Double, but anyway, Robert, you clown, you get me all the time. I'm kidding you when I say clown. I'm having fun. I'm not revising the win total. If I revise it, Robert, I'm revising it south, not north. I got it at 86. If I revise it, it's coming down to about 82.
And where was Robert yesterday when the Giants had a tough time? I noticed he wasn't on our on the airways. Did he attend a movie or he have a dinner date? After, you got to be on both to
Robert,
be a fan.
Come on, Robert, you got to show up.
You got to show up both times. After a tough loss, a horrible loss, you got to be here, and then after a big win like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Robert,
Senior,
let's
I'm trying to
relax.
find it from my page here. I saw you tweeted it to me, but it doesn't show up in. Why is it not show up?
And Robert, the win tonight shows how great this team could be. Remember, a squirrel can always sometimes get lucky and find a nut. It's like a one-hit wonder.
Oh,
You
I
got to do
found
it
it.
consistently.
I found it. I got to go
All
to
right, we found it.
notifications. Okay, we found it. This is live from, recorded earlier while live at the ballpark.
That's it.
Some senior softball games. Bryce Eldridge. Can we see this? Is it up, Lou?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a
I'm
very
not ready.
distant.
I haven't
It's
blown
not
it
big,
up yet.
but we can see it. Yeah, if you can blow it up, it'll be better.
Bases juiced on the boat pitch. That'll score one. That'll score two. And that's a double for Bryce. He's getting hot, fellas.
That was with the bases loaded too, Dan.
Here we go. One more
Bryce
time. We'll watch
Eldridge,
it again.
Bottom of the first inning. Bases juiced on the boat pitch.
I like how he went to left center.
That'll score one. That'll score two. And that's a double for Bryce. He's getting
Watch
hot,
this
fellas.
again one more time, guys. Watch the easy stroke. He doesn't try and
Bryce
pull it.
Eldridge, bottom of the first inning.
Pull,
Bases
chunks it right out there to
juiced
the left. Watch
on
this.
the boat pitch.
See that easy swing?
That'll score one. That'll score.
I really like the idea of not trying to pull that ball.
Go
and
where
just,
the ball's pitched.
And just stroke it right out into left center field. That is the way to do it. Do we have any other ones, Senior? Do we have any other highlights? Let me look here. Notifications. Do I have any more? Oh, yes. 13 minutes ago, we have a home run coming up, guys. We have a home run to watch. And what's Charlie eating there? A slider? A little bit of that looks like a slider maybe. Okay, let's see. Here we go. We'll pull this one up and we will watch again. All right, there we go. Sparse crowd at Sutter Field. We've got someone, I don't know if that's Charlie or somebody else look at the guys. I want you guys to notice look at how, is that an ice cream sandwich? That's an ice cream sandwich. Look at the way very
nice presentation.
Look at that. Look at that. Look how that is being held very nicely. Thumb on the paper behind. Nice and texture. Everything's laid out there perfectly. Sunglasses on top of the hat. Manicured fingernails. I'm seeing this as this. Scouts should be looking at this. How this young man is holding the ice cream there. That is evident of a guy with soft hands.
Well, it says $2 ice cream night tonight. So the ice cream sandwich is only $2.
Man. If you're not lactose intolerant like me, man, I would be loading up on 5 of those. For $10, you kidding? Look at that. All right. So we've got the nice form there. Everything looks good. And now we're going to go to the play itself. If I can find the play button. Where'd it go? Where'd my play button go? Oh, here we go. We ready? Are we full screen?
Yeah. Can you lower the screen so we can see the batter? There you go.
All right, here we go, guys.
Bryce Eldridge third at bat. That ball has a chance. But it's a deep center field, and that ball is gone. Bryce Eldridge is heating up, and he's getting ready to make his appearance at the SF Times. That is my call. It will happen within the next 3 weeks, maybe 2. That was tanked. Wapo Taco, see you later. Boom! Attaboy, Bryce! Bryce Eldridge.
And we got he's got his son laughing there.
There
we go.
Chance. But it's a deep center field, and that ball is gone. Bryce Eldridge is heating up, and he's getting ready to make his appearance at the SF Giants. That is my call. It will happen within the next 3 weeks, maybe 2. That was tanked. Pablo Taco, see you later. Boom! Attaboy, Bryce! Bryce Eldridge for
There we go. There we go. Boom. Boom, shakalaka, gone. Now, Senior's calling for Bryce in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm calling for, my prediction is Bryce Eldridge, if he gets called up this season, is coming up when the Giants visit San Diego. I've got that 4-game series circled on my calendar, and Bryce Eldridge will play in San Diego. Lou?
So that'll be a month
Yeah.
away.
Lou and myself will be there. At least that's the plan. If I can get my strength.
It all depends on your health.
back. Yeah.
I have a flight. We got hotel accommodations. We're working on the tickets. We have the suite at Del Mar for Friday and Saturday. It all depends. You got to do it this way, because if Dan's health's not there, then hey, it happens.
Wow.
Bold prediction.
Eldridge is getting dealt. Somebody on Twitter told me, what about Samuel Basallo of Baltimore? Now, they have the same values. Let me ask you, chat. Samuel Basallo. Let me tell you a little bit about my friend Samuel Basallo. Let me tell you. All right. Let's take a look at Basallo. If we can find him here. Let's see. Samuel. I must be spelling it wrong. Why is he not showing up in my... Can somebody spell Basallo for me? Am I doing it wrong? Hey, Siri, Samuel Basallo.
You want me to look him up?
I'm spelling it wrong. B-A-S. B-A-S. That's a... I'm not finding him. Help me out. I got to go look at the chat. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me how it's spelled. Hey, Siri again. Samuel Basallo. Baseball player. B-A-S-A. B-A-S-A. B-A-S-A-L-L-O. Why is he not showing up? He should be in Baseball Reference. B-A Salo. I got it spelled right. Samuel. There's only one way to spell Samuel. S-A-M-U-E-L. Why is the guy not showing up? There we go. All right. Finally. All right, guys. I haven't even looked at it yet, but let's pull up Basallo. What the heck? We'll have some fun here. Okay, Samuel Basallo. He's ranked 14th in Baseball America. MLB, he's 13th. He's right at the top. He's a catcher, guys. And let's take a look at the season he's having. We get rid of that ad. Okay, the season he's having in the minor leagues at AAA, he's had 253 plate appearances. He's got a total of 19 home runs. He's hitting .264. Strikeout rate 55 times divided by 253, 21.7%. He's got in 5 levels over the course of his career, he's 283 batting average. He's got 69 homers in his career. Looks like he's hit at every level, pretty much. You know, rookie league, 278, 313. Skip the 4-6, a few at bats, 333, 299 last year, or in 23. In 24, he hit 278. This year, he's hitting 264, all of it at AAA. He's 20 years old. He's the same age as Bryce. Guys, let me ask you this. The Orioles have Adley Rutschman. Would you trade Bryce straight up for him? Because the values are pretty much the same, guys. You're not going to be able to trade Luciano straight up for Basallo. The Orioles will laugh you right out of the room. They'll hang up the phone on you. Would you pick up a catcher like if let me ask you, if Senior, you're a big Bryce guy. You've been watching him. Basallo's had a really solid year in AAA. I think a league that's the East, the league he plays in is the International League. That's a tougher league to hit than the Pacific Coast League. What do you guys say? Would you do? I don't think it happens. It's just hypothetical here, but that it's a pretty it's just two good hitters, but positions of need. Would you do that, Lou? Would you go for a young catcher with some pop?
I think catcher is the toughest position to get somebody established. I don't think Bailey, he's great for framing. He's got a good arm, but he has a lot of balls get past him. I don't think he's that good a hitter. And if you can get a solid catcher, you got to remember, I think it was 20 years ago when San Diego had the problem where they had two studs and they kept one and traded the other. It's so hard to get a good catcher. When you really think about the Giants, they were spoiled where they had Benji Molina, and they got him sort of I think for 3 years, they got him sort of lucky, and then they got Buster. But beside that, can you guys think of anyone before them or anybody after them? That's how hard it is to get a good catcher. Bart, he didn't make it. It's hard to get a catcher. And this is a guy at his age that could be there for 10 years.
Well, let's do something here. Let's just, for kicks, let's pull up the trade machine and we'll look at the Orioles. And you see Samuel Basallo, 58.9. He's actually 20, I believe. Yeah, he's 20. So we'll have him go to the Giants, and we'll move over to the Giants, and you see Eldridge 56.2. So they're pretty much right there. There you go, guys. Two rookies, a first base versus a catcher. That's what it would take to get Basallo, unless you wanted to go somebody like a Webb. Okay. Now you might be talking. You talking my language. If the Orioles, I don't think the Orioles would do that, but if you could trade Webb and rebuild this thing and have a catcher and Eldridge at first base, and you trade Ray and you get somebody else and you start building this thing, and then you build around, you got Casey at second and Casey Schmidt at second. You got Adames at short and Chapman, and then you get another stud in the lineup behind the plate, and then you bring up Eldridge, and then Devers becomes the DH, or you make Eldridge, since Devers loves to play the field, you start getting Eldridge back up the speed as a corner outfielder. Now you're really talking. You would have some bats in your lineup, and I would say, so long, Logan.
That's
Robert,
what you have to do.
That's what you got to do if you want to win.
Agree.
You got to look at these values. When you look at these values, guys, the Giants' values
stink.
Let me just show you. Logan Webb, 66. Eldridge, and then Ramos, it drops all the way down to 28. And then you got Roop. Roop's value is going to rise. Landon Roop is going to hit 30 soon. You watch. They update these every week. This guy's a pretty good pitcher. Randy Rodriguez, his value goes up a little. I think Bailey's doesn't go much higher than that. Josar Gonzalez, the young kid who's only 17. Ryan Walker, I don't know how he even has a double-digit value. I really don't. Fitzgerald, Birdsongs is dropping. Casey's, look at Casey Schmidt's values come up. Look at the availability on Logan Webb. They say medium versus either nothing or low. Duvall, medium. Interesting. I wonder if they have anything on Robbie Ray. Let's see if anybody else has any availability. That's called the availability. They think Mike Yastrzemski, medium. So maybe they're thinking like us. Tyler Rogers, medium. Encarnacion, medium. Jelly, medium. Huff. Does anybody have a high? Wilmer Flores, medium. That should be high. Murphy, come on, low. Chapman, interesting with the no trade clause. Medium. Willie Adames, the same thing. Devers. I don't know where you get that medium. That, to me, Robbie Ray, low. Yeah, this thing's losing credibility.
Hey, Robert, I wanted to tell you something. One of your comments, if the Giants continue to win, Posey may not be aggressive. We're 2-7 in our last 9. So, we found the net today. If we lose tomorrow, that means we'd be 2-8 in our last 10. So I don't know how you don't think we're going to be aggressive. I think if we continue to lose, we're going to sell. And then we got to start thinking about 2026. And I do remember you on last night. You blamed the whole thing on Birdsong. I do remember you were on there, but then you sort of faded because we were on 3.5 hours last night. Trust me and Dan remember. We needed Dallas to help us out.
Sue says, I'm crazy to want to trade Webb. His type don't grow on trees. Well, Sue, I respect your opinion. A lot of people feel that's crazy talk, and I get it. He's the best you got. But how you rebuild this thing, Sue, if he's an asset, like if you have assets that are at their peak, that's the time to move those assets, and then you get top dollar back for him. If Webb, each year that passes, Webb's value drops because he's not as valuable to other teams because he's not under team control. Right now, Webb has control for the 26, 27, and 28 season, becomes a free agent in 29. If you wait till the 28 or 29 season, you're going to see that value plummet. And then if you decide to trade him, you're not going to get very much. And my take is I don't think this team is built. We talked about this last night. I don't think this team is built to win with the way they strike out way too much. Now, tonight, they finally hit the ball, but they only struck out tonight 6 times. Schmidt and Flores twice each, Chapman and Devers once apiece. But you were facing a guy that was just throwing meat grinders up there. And, I mean, it was like it had to look like, backyard when you played with the big giant wiffle ball or something, the big one. This guy was you could see this guy had no command and he was getting behind, and Giants were just sitting on pitches. Giants don't normally have an opportunity to do that. So we'll see what tomorrow goes. If they come out and beat up Strider, then I'll say maybe they're on a little bit of a, hot streak, turn it around. The one thing the Giants are known for, though, guys, and they've done this for years, is they lose 6 in a row, and then they win 5 or 6 in a row, and then they win 2, lose 2, win 3, lose 3, and then they win 1, lose 1, win 1, and then they go on a big losing streak, and then they come right back with a winning streak. I've seen it for years. I don't know if that's going to happen again. We'll see.
Hey, Dan, one of the things I did want to bring out about Webb is, guys, he's going to try to pitch 200 innings again. That's 600 innings in 3 years. Okay. His arm is not bionic. The other thing that nobody's talking about, over the last 3 years, he's 33-30. Okay. He's not 33 and like 14. He's 33 and 30. Right. And his ERA has gone up every year. 3.25, 3.47. He's at 308 now, but if he has a couple of rough starts, it's going to be the exact same. You guys make him like he's like Steve Carlton. You know, you make him like he's the greatest pitcher in Giants history. He's not a mad bum. Okay. He's not like Timmy. I'm sick and tired of everyone saying, oh, he's the same as Matt Cain. Did you guys think Matt Cain was a great Giant? He was a good Giant, but he's not like a Hall of Famer. Logan Webb's not a Hall of Famer. And what Dan tries to say is we haven't signed for 3 more years. For us to go to the next level, you have to give up quality players. And the only reason why we're bringing up Logan Webb is not that he's not good. He's got 3 years left, and that's how you're going to be able to get good prospects and get better. But if you guys want to keep Webb and are happy with being right around the 500, golfing on October 3rd while everybody else is in the playoffs, that's fine. But me and Dan, we want to see playoffs. We want to go to the playoffs. Okay? I just wanted to bring that up, Dan. You know, everyone talks about him, you know, how great he is. Yeah, he's a great Giant. And among the league, you know, he's probably a top 20 pitcher. But do you think he's like Screwball for Detroit? Do you think he's of the elite?
No, he's not even. He's
not even close. So let's, guys, let's simmer down about Logan Webb. I know he's great to save the bullpen. He eats up innings, but we make him like he's like Mad Bum. Oh my God, he's the greatest. He's a good Giant. Are you telling me that he's better than Timmy? He's not better than Timmy. Do you think, Dan?
No.
As a Giant? Nope. Okay, so everyone just relax about how great Logan Webb is. My God, you guys love him more than the front office loves Yaz. Just stick to the facts. 33-30.
Yeah. So, let's. I'm trying to pull something up here to see. Okay, I'm having trouble logging in here. I must have forgot my password. All right,
password.
I forgot.
Once you get the password, you should put it behind on the hat so we all know it.
There we go. Username or email address. All right, get new password. Let me forgot password. Check your email for your confirmation link, then visit the login page. All right, one sec, guys, while I pull this up here. Little work here to do. And you know what? While I'm doing this, let's bring in, if Dallas is out there, we'll bring in Dallas. That way we have 2 people going while I'm in the background doing something. Let me just get this copy. Okay. Copy and paste. Come on. There we go. All right. Links in the chat, Dallas. If you're out there, come on in, join the show. I'm working on something here. No, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my own password. Generate password. Yeah. Hold on here.
Tonight, I think everybody had fun, but I guess Jung-Hoo Lee sort of forgot because he didn't do anything. He did get a walk, but he was 0 for 4 again. So he's at 246. Once he's starting to get a little bit low. I mean, when you get a team that scores 9 runs on 10 hits and it's pretty well distributed through everyone, the leadoff hitter, I don't know about him leading off. Turd Ferguson says, "Is your password far gone?" Maybe that's
sure.
it.
Yeah.
The great Turd Ferguson, one of the great characters of SNL.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
And then, Dan, while you're doing this, what do you think of the moves? I was sort of surprised that Beck went down. I know they used him, but I thought maybe he might be that one starter to fill in. I guess not. When he's pitched 2 great ones and you get shut down again to AAA. I was sort of surprised because he's pitched so well the last two times. I mean, I understand Birdsong, obviously, but you got to do what you got to do to get fresh arms.
Yes. All right, what are we doing here? Okay.
You were trying to show us something on Twitter, but you didn't know your password.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this thing, and I'm registering, and it's like, username. Come on, I just want to sign in to Fangraphs. This is ridiculous. All right, we may have to skip this. I'll try this one more time. I hear somebody popping in. I heard somebody. Who is it? It is Dallas. We welcome Dallas to the stage. Welcome, Dallas. I'm in the background doing some other stuff here. What'd you think of the game tonight?
Huge difference in the game versus yesterday, man. It was a completely different team showed up.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a very much a different ball club tonight. Eric, come on, this is ridiculous. Why are we not getting my password? What's going on?
I heard that they had a meeting with the players and they talked it out, after that last game. And, maybe they've, made some adjustments to their mentality here. It's hard to say, just one game, but
exactly. They played with more tenacity, more seemed focused, more energy. And that could be part of even what we talked about Ramos running through Williams' stop sign. Maybe he was just like, man, I'm going for it. I'm accused of kind of maybe being lackadaisical. I'm going for it. I'm sure that had something to do with it. Don't you think?
Acuna did that the previous game. He ran right through the sign and scored. And I think Ramos saw that. And he's like, hey, I can do that too.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I mean, I don't know why Williams is being so conservative in that situation.
5-0. It's pretty weird. Yeah. I know there's no outs, and he's probably thinking, we got the heart of the order coming up. Who was up? Who hit that ball? Who knocked him in? Ramos? Who was the one that got the hit to right on that? Was it Devers?
I can't remember.
But
remember, this is the Giants, so take the runs when you can get them.
Right. I'm looking here at Logan Webb, just looking at his quick look prospectus.
And I just want to address the Webb thing. I know we talked about it last night, but yes, he has value. And the Giants don't have many players that even have much of a trade value. It is important to have a pitching staff. You need to have good pitchers. And we've been through it before where we don't have a deep staff, and it's horrible. It's torture, and you can't win games that way. And the reason why is because, pitchers are expensive because you need them. That's why they're $30 million to have a number one guy, a number one pitcher. You have to pay out the nose to get pitchers. So when you have two reasonably priced, like Webb and Ray, and you have them for next season, and you have Webb the year after for 2 more years, there's value there because people want pitching, but it's valuable to you too because you need to have a pitching staff.
I completely agree, Dallas. But
it doesn't matter how many hitters you have.
But to get a catcher, it's a lot easier to get a starting pitcher than to get a stud catcher if you have an opportunity. And this team
That's
needs
true.
more than just starting. That, I think that's what Dan was just thinking outside the box, and me too. But I understand what you're saying, But I tell you the truth, I don't think Buster's going to do anything. I think the team we have is the team he's going to take to the finish line. That's what I personally think.
I find it hard to believe that he would, go trade for Devers, and then now approaching the deadline, we have a real need for a starting pitcher. I mean, it is. They don't have how many starters do the Giants have? 4 now.
But who are we going to give up for a starter? There's so many teams that need a starter. I think it's tough because I don't think we're going to give anybody up on the major league team.
Now, if you really want to try to, wait a minute. Do we have a better? Oh, yeah, we got a better shot. Oh, but I can't play it. That's off MLB Pipeline. Wait, no, that's not MLB Network. I can play that. MLB Pipeline. Yeah. Let me play Bryce. Let me play Bryce's home run off of that, and you'll get a clear shot here. Here we go. Ready for this, guys?
Leading off for the River Cats. And the pitch on the way is swung on and driven to deep center field. Blade is back on the warning track. He turns and watches Bryce Eldridge's first ever home run at Sutterheld Park leave the yard. Just to the left of straightaway center field, Bryce Eldridge's 4th home run this season with Sacramento. And again, the first one he's ever hit.
That's a quick bat.
Sutterheld.
Boom.
Yeah.
More than that, who was the pitcher he hit it off?
Bryce Eldridge
Don't
leading
know.
off for the River
All right.
Cats.
Las Vegas, the 76ers or whatever they are.
Deep center field. Blade is back on the warning track. He turns and watches Bryce Eldridge's first ever home run at.
There we go. But nice to see. Aaron trying to sign into Fangraphs or OnlyFans. Yeah, Fangraphs. Fangraphs for this guy right here. Okay, so here's the counterpoint. Now, let me just bring this up to you guys, because if you wanted to go out and get a couple of starters or something, you're not going to, Giants they're not going to want to give up a lot. Okay. They're not going to do that. So let me pull something up here that I had some fun with earlier today. Just if you're going to try to stay in this thing and you want to get some ball players here. Let me just pull up my trade that I put out there. Okay. There it is. That way I don't have to.
Is this the trade with the New York Yankees from yesterday?
No, this is one that is with the Orioles. Giants have need for starting pitching, and they need an outfielder. The Orioles are going to trade probably all 3 of these guys, and they may be looking at 3 different teams where they get a better package, right? Because some team might be willing to give up one of their better players for one of their guys. But, if you're Buster, you want to be jumping ahead of this. This is a trade where the Giants give up 2 former number 1 draft picks, not highly valued anymore in the system, Crawford and Bednar. I don't even know if the Orioles would be interested in these guys, so this is a crapshoot. But Crawford has potential. He had shoulder surgery last year, meaning he's missing all of this year for the most part, probably the whole year. But he's also got a lot of potential, and he's still young. He comes back next year, maybe he finds something and he becomes a solid reliever. Bednar, maybe he finds it, puts it together eventually. Bostic, he's just another guy that, not much. But you look at the values that are placed on Eflin and Morton negative, and Laureano has a little bit higher value. But there you go. That gives you 2 starters that can eat up innings. Are these guys, look, you want to go get a Joe Ryan, you're giving up Bryce Eldridge, okay? That's just the facts. You're not getting Joe Ryan for peanuts. These guys would be designed to hopefully give you some innings, 5 innings, maybe 6, some starts, but help you get to the playoffs. And when you get to the playoffs, you need 3 to 4 starters. You can get away with 3 if you can do a bullpen game for the 4th game, but you need a minimum of 3 starters. What's his name? Morton's an experienced guy. He's older. He's not great anymore, but he's experienced. He's been in the playoffs. Eflin, he has some stuff. I'm not a big Eflin fan, Josh. I'm just saying that's a guy I'm not obsessed with him. I'm just trying to say that's a guy that is available. There's other guys that are going to be available. Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, a lot of those type of guys, but they're all pretty much the same dudes. They're all pretty much, you can throw them in a hat and shuffle it, and one of them comes out. Nobody is special in this group, and that's why they're cheap free agents. But if you want to go get a top of the line number 2 or 3 starter, you're going to pay for it. And they're few and far between. Kelly, he might be something. He might give you he throws a good game every now and then he also throws a lot of clunkers. That's what you're going to get with these 3 through 5 starters. You're not, if you want to try and find another 1 or a 2, good luck. So I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I don't know if Lou's right. He might be right. Do they do anything? I'm only suggesting something like that because I think if Buster's going to be able to land guys, I think he's going to have to get ahead of the other people going for the same guys. There's only, maybe 15 roughly starters out there that are probably available. And there's at least 15 teams that are looking for a starter. And I don't know how you get one without being aggressive.
But if they don't, then they're going to be relying on Tristan Beck and Sean Jelly, and these guys are going to have to step up and fill a roster, a starter spot.
Correct. And that's tough. That
I mean, you need 3 pitchers when you get to the playoffs. You need 3. They've got 3. To get to the playoffs, you need more than 3.
You need 3 quality
get there.
starters to get. I mean, if you get into the playoffs, you need a minimum of 3. And
but Dallas brings up
ideally 4.
Yeah, Dallas says we need 5 to get to the playoffs. You just can't keep using the 3 there.
Right. That's why I threw out this trade for a guy like Morton and Eflin and Laureano, because the Giants are interested in Laureano from reports, and they're interested in starters. Why not throw a whole package together and see if you can land everybody in a package and give the Orioles some bones, give them some potential. I mean, the Orioles are probably looking for pitching that might become something. They're going to have a hard time getting, you're not going to give up a Kyle Harrison in a deal, for example, for those guys, right? Even though Harrison, there's too much potential in Harrison. I mean, he's still young enough where he could become, a very effective
He's
starter.
gone.
Yeah, I'm just saying that type of guy you would not give up for that. You wouldn't
Like a Whizzin
go.
Hunt.
A Whizzin Hunt, you might. I'm not sure how good Whizzin Hunt's going to be. I mean, we've heard Whizzin Hunt. He's just another one of those guys to me that's like, what's the guy that Phil Bickford and oh gosh, what's the other guy that was drafted number 1 out of Tennessee? Not Bickford. Somebody help me in the chat. We had a pitcher that we drafted. I think he went to the University of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. He was number 1 draft. Not Phil Bickford. There was Tyler Beatty. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Beatty. How often do we hear Beatty? This guy's going to be a stud. Beatty. Chris Shaw.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be a stud. Vanderbilt he came from. Okay, I knew it was Tennessee area. But, I mean, how often do we hear of these guys? How about
they have a cup of coffee and that's it.
How about the dude that threw a no-hitter in against the Mets in New York? What was his name? Chris something? Not Stratton. Stratton's another guy. Who's the dude that threw the no-hitter against the Mets?
In New York. It was in New York.
In New York. Yeah, he threw a no-hitter. He walked 3 or 4 guys. Heston.
Heston.
Heston. Oh, Chris Heston. We got this star. Where are these guys? Where's Heston? Where's Beatty?
He's now working at Walmart. I got a name. I got a bold prediction here, Dan. I got a bold prediction.
Now it's whizzing.
With Dan in Dallas, we all talk about Luciano, how good he is. I think if we're going to make a trade, it's going to be someone that no one's heard of. And I think it's going to happen when the Pittsburgh Pirates come here next week. He will be in the Pittsburgh thing and he'll come over, and it's Mitch Keller. Think of that name. The guy has been on fire his last 7 starts. He has 3 more years. It's definitely someone where Buster doesn't have to give up much. He's another young guy. The guy's been incredible. He started off the year horrible. You guys never heard of him, but if you look at his last 6 starts, if the Giants don't get him, somebody else will. But I'm just going to read you his last 6 starts. Okay. He, against Texas, went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. Against Met, he went 5 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 1 run. He went to St. Louis, 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, no runs. Kansas City, he went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. And then his last start was at Minnesota, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. And then tonight, he against Detroit, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. I'm telling you, that's the type of guy where he still has 3 more years that I could see them going after. He fit right in our 3rd, maybe 4th. Another young guy, because you guys got to remember, and Dan brings up a great point, we're not even sure that Ray's going to be with us in 2 years, right? Are the Giants going to pay him 3 years, $100 million? We don't know. We don't know how Webb's going to be. So you got to start thinking about that. And here's a young kid, he's very young and he'll fit right in. He's 29 years old, got the best ahead of him, but I'm going to tell you, that's a name. And when he does get traded to somebody else, it's just a bold prediction. So I wanted to throw that out.
I'm in. Lou, pick up the phone, make the call. Let's do it.
You guys want to know what it's going to cost you? Let me show you about what it's going to cost.
It's Luciano. He's that's who he's moving.
You can move a Luciano, but doesn't have much value. He could be in a deal like that, but how about something like this? Keller's value shot up, so it would have to be something like this. Mitch Keller, 33.2. Hayden Birdsong, Carson Wisenhunt, Walker Martin, and Diego Velasquez. Same value for value. But Pirates are going to want to get a couple of starters back. They might figure out, hey, look, we can correct Birdsong and Wisenhunt. That's kind of what you're going to have to do. Because the Giants don't have, unless you want to give up a Ramos, which they're not going to do. Okay. Because he's got like a 28. So the Giants got to give like 3-4 players and something like that. Would you guys do that? Would you give up on Birdsong and Wisenhunt for a Keller who's going to be, huh?
I don't think you can get Larry to sign off on that.
Why is that? 2 young pitchers? Because of Birdsong?
Yeah.
Larry
Krueger, not Larry.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I just threw out a bunch of guys that I've heard of. Beatty, Bickford, Heston. Who are the other guys I threw out?
Harrison.
Christian Arroyo, Will Bednar, Hunter Bishop, all number 1 draft picks, all flops.
It's a crapshoot.
Exactly. So that's why
you
trade.
Crapshoot. You don't know.
That's Kyle Crick. Thank you, Ben. There's another first-round pick. That's the dude from Tennessee, right? Didn't Crick come from Tennessee? Maybe I'm wrong, but but I am just so tired of these young pitchers that we keep hearing about that are, can't miss. I'll believe it when I see it when it comes to Wisenhunt. I think Wisenhunt personally would be better suited for the bullpen because he only has a couple of pitches. What are you going to do? Throw 2 pitches to guys 3 times through the order? They're going to eat you alive. I don't know. Guys like that become really good relievers because you can get away with a nasty changeup, and that's all you got. If that's your out pitch. I mean, Tommy Cannelli, until he recently blew up for the Tigers in the last 2 weeks, he threw last year in the playoffs 44 straight changeups. I don't know how guys don't hit that thing. 44 straight. I mean, you got the speed coming, but he throws it a little different each time. So I don't know, guys. It should be interesting. We're down to 9 days. Today's the 22nd, correct? Yeah. So we've got tomorrow's Wednesday. The trade deadline is a week from tomorrow, or Thursday, I should say. Excuse me. A week from Thursday. The Giants have that Thursday off.
Yeah. So the Pirates, the Mets, and the Pirates, and then we'll see.
Yeah. It should be very interesting on how all this plays out because this is going to be it's going to be an interesting week. You've got 7 games left now. They're 1-2 in that 10-game stretch that we said we want to see them.
6 or 7.
6
wins.
minimum. 6 minimum. I have a feeling Buster even goes for it if they're 5-5. Let's take a look at the standings for. Since let's update this. Let's get a little refresh.
And while you're doing that, the Dodgers are down 6-5 in the 7th, and Houston leads Arizona 3-1, bottom of the 9th, but Arizona's got the bases loaded, nobody out. Just a live update.
Okay. I was looking at that. How did I do on that? Let me see. Box score. Minnesota hasn't come in. Just seeing who's pitching here for the.
And then Dallas, what do you think Arizona's going to do? They got 2 guys that could walk, but if they win tonight, somehow come back, they're 500. It's
Arizona, because they have had success in the past, you just get it sneaking into the playoffs
Yeah.
and then going to the World Series. It would be hard for me to, as a Diamondbacks fan, to understand them not going for it. You know, if there's a chance.
Yeah, they're only
So-
5 out, and if they win tonight, they'll go to 4.5, right? You're saying they're 3-1 bases loaded. Yeah, 0 outs. You know what? I'm going to pull that game up right now on the MLB network. Let me pull up the standings before we get out of here for you guys. Everything went right tonight for the Giants.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Everybody ahead of them.
Everybody lost. Brewers finally lost. They're 9-1 out of their last 10. The Mets have won 3 in a row. And the Padres lost, which is good. So the Giants gain a game on the Brewers and the Padres and the Cardinals and Cincinnati.
And their run differential shot up because tonight.
Yeah, +9 tonight. So that shot them up from +4 to +13. And let me just pull up this live
Good things
game.
can happen when you put some runs on the board.
Oh, wow. The Twins have bases loaded right now with 1 out in the top of the 7th. And the Diamondbacks have bases loaded with 1 out. Oh, it is the bottom of the 9th. Let's see. I need Marte to come up and do a blast for my fantasy team. Oh, he's on the bench. What did Marte just do? Hold on. Oh, it's over. 3-1.
Ground into a double play.
Who grounded into a double play? Let me look.
And
It wasn't Marte. That would be -2 points for me. Let's see who's up. Oh, it's Herrera. Oh, he smoked it. Oh, man. Astros fired up. Jeez. Okay. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I was looking down at my phone here trying to see what happened. So Giants, Jose Daza says trade for Logan Henderson. Marte was on leave when his house got robbed. Yeah, he was at the All-Star game. Yeah. So Arizona loses. That helps the Giants. Pen is very bad. Yeah, Dodgers are not doing well with the pin. The beautiful chicken says
That's happened before, right? Where
Luciano.
somebody's gotten robbed when they were at the
At
All-Star
an
game.
event.
Or,
I think World Series or on the road on a road game. Yeah.
they knew. I mean, I guess all these players, you know where they're going to be. You know, the Giants are in Atlanta.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that comment? Philip, he's a big guy that says, need to make a change. This thing, they've been doing the same thing for 10 years, and they've made the playoffs once. They've had one winning second half since 2015.
Yep.
And that was the 21 magical season. And we were too scared to move off of anything. That's my whole thing. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. When are the Giants going to get results that actually give them a playoff team? I get that Webb's super good and you don't want to get rid of him. I don't want to get rid of him either because they need pitching. But what happens if you got that Yankee trade where you got 2 good arms back for him plus a young hitting stud?
Damn, one of those guys you talked about, did he pitch tonight? Because there's a guy, they're going to ship him back to AAA, but it was only his second or third start tonight for the Yankees in Toronto.
Don't think so. Let me look at the.
Okay.
I think that was Strickling or Stringling or whatever his name is. Let me look. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, I think the one thing too is I think the Dodgers are going to
Schittler or something like that.
Okay. I think the Dodgers are going to try to get 2, maybe 3 bullpen arms. They got starters coming back, but their bullpen is atrocious. They'll probably pick up 2 guys. They're going to do like what San Diego, was it last year where they picked up 3 relievers? Was that San Diego last year, if I remember? They're going to try to do the same thing. And they got money. They don't care.
Wow, Dodgers down 9-5 to
Twinkies.
Yeah. Look at it. Who are these guys in the Dodgers bullpen? Well, they brought up Diaz. It finally brought him. Klein, Henriquez. I've heard of Ben Casparas. He's been pitching decently for him. But
Nobody.
Yeah, they're bullpen. I mean, they got Alex Vessier down there, and they do have Blake Trinan coming back.
And then they DFA'd the former Giant.
Conforto?
No, not Conforto, the pitcher. Tristan
Trevino?
Trevino, yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah. That guy's, he's done. He's done. Philip, in all caps, I love it. The only reason I would consider it is to make the team better. Doing something unpopular and different just might be the move to do. It's worth the risk, in my opinion. It's not like we've been making.
I assume the playoffs. He's saying
playoffs
because we ran out
year in and year out. Exactly. That's the whole thing.
Be careful what you wish for, because if we want to go back to Ross Stripling and DeSclafani and these pitchers that are fourth pitchers in the rotation, and you just can't win games that way. You need some studs in the rotation.
You do, and that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing, and you have to kind of look at it and say, what's the risk reward? Do we take the risk that Webb gets tired at some point in the next 3 years and we don't have him in the last year and a half of his contract because he wears down?
And then you go sign Corbin Burns for $27 million, and then he gets hurt. So
that's the thing.
That's always every pitcher has a risk of injury.
Yeah,
there's no way around that.
The Atlanta Braves have a philosophy. They don't sign long-term pitchers. They don't like to sign guys.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to get these guys with arm troubles. I mean, you see that happens, and I would not
something
sign.
To be said for Logan Webb, who doesn't throw hard.
Correct. Correct.
He probably won't. I mean, he's been through the Tommy John already. He probably, if you're having to bet on somebody not to get hurt, you probably lean towards Webb just because his low stress delivery.
All right. Well, if you want to keep Webb, how about trade Ray?
Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. It's sometimes.
I'm just sick of them being stale. Same lane. They're in the rest area, finishing 4th, finishing 3rd, finishing 4th. No playoffs. That's And again, we've had chances to trade guys that we could have just even get some decent prospects that could be on the team, and we've sat on our thumbs. Now I know that was Farhan. I know Buster's different, but I think the Giants' philosophy, especially with someone like Larry Bear, is let's just play it safe. Play it safe. Where the old genre with some of our former GMs that come on here, they take chances. If we didn't take chances, we would have never gone to the World Series on some of the trades, the pickups who we gave up. So I mean, I sort of miss being in the World Series. That's just me.
Just you.
The playoffs in general.
Yeah. Playoffs in general. Right. Exactly. There was a time in the late 90s, 97, they made the playoffs. 99, they made the playoffs. 2000, they just missed. No, 2000, they made the playoffs. 99, they just missed. 2001, they kind of were close but missed. That was Bond's big year. 02, they were the World Series. 03, they made the playoffs. 04, winning record but missed. And then boom, 05 through 09, were the rebuild years. 09 was a winning record. And then, rest is history. So,
and Dan in Dallas, I'm just more frustrated as the league has made it easier for us to make the wild card, and we still haven't done that. We haven't made the wild card with the new formation yet. We've never made it. We won the division the one time, but we've never made it. So the league's making it easier for teams, and we still can't make it. That's what I think is most frustrating.
Right.
That 21 season, didn't they still have 2 wild cards?
And Buster has us on the right track to remedy that situation.
Thank you, Winston.
He's going to settle for the same, close but not quite 500, mediocre ball. Now, not that way this year. They've still played 500 ball. But the team is better. This is a different team this year than it is last year.
It's a better team than last year. It's because they've got Devers, Adamas, and Lee's playing a full season and Ray's healthy. So that's what makes predominantly the team better. The rest of the team, pretty much the same. And I will say this: they have. It feels like they've solidified second base going forward for at least this year. To me, Casey's showing that with everyday playing, he's a very athletic ball player that has a cannon for an arm. Not fantastic range, but very sure-handed at second base. And he's a guy, I think if you bring Casey in the lineup on a regular basis and you put him in for, the full 162, he's a guy to me that's going to hit you 250 plus, give you 20 home runs, and drive in 80 RBIs. And that's pretty darn.
He's not making any money, so it's not like he's making things. The other thing too is you guys.
That's great production. That's great production for a second baseman.
The other thing is last year we had a losing record in the second half, but we had somebody, if I remember right, didn't Snell go like 9-1 with an ERA of like 1.2? We don't have him this year. He was like our big stopper. Do you remember that toward the end where it was like, oh my God, he's finally back? So I don't know. We got 60 games left. We'll see. We definitely got to at least go 35-25 the rest of the season. But with our schedule, it's going to be tough.
Let's see, they're 53 wins right now. 35 will get you 88. That's going to be right on the cusp. I think if they went 35 wins, that means you got to have Arizona. I mean, not Arizona, but San Diego, assuming they're the one team that's in front of you chasing. How many wins does San Diego have right now? They have 55. So you'd have to assume that they could only win 32 more. So, yeah,
we play them 7 more times, 3 here and then 4 down there.
Yeah, 35 wins would get you to 88, which would be 88-74. The Padres would have to go. They'd have to win 32 more games, which would make them 87-75. So they would be 32-29. Is that right? 60, 70. What did I say that would make them? 87-75. Yeah. So Padres would be going like 32-29. Giants would be having to play 30. What did we say again? 50, 35-23. Wow. 23? Wait a minute. That's not right, is it, Lou? They've got 49 losses. 74. That would be 35-25. Yeah, 35-25. They got. That doesn't even make sense. Hold on. You said 88 wins. They got 53. 50, 63, 73, 83.
So they're at
35 wins would get them to
88.
Yeah. And there's 74 losses would be.
Yeah, 88-74 would be 162.
30, yeah, so 35-25. But that doesn't make sense because I thought they had that's 60. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking 60. I always get that screwed up with 62 when they play 100. They got 62 left. I'm thinking it's 60. Yeah, that's right. That's right. My bad. So they got to go 35-25 to get to 88, and you got to have the Padres play 32-29. Now, if the Padres win, say, if the Padres win 35 games and they go 35-26, I think they have 61 games, then the Giants have to win a lot, have to go to get to 90 to tie them. So
they'll have another skid in there somewhere.
Yeah, and our home schedule, we play 7 teams with winning records and only 4 with losing records. And I'm talking about Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Arizona right now because they're under, and Colorado. I'm just hoping
Pittsburgh and Colorado.
Yeah, I need some math lessons tonight. 88 won't get the postseason though. He says, yeah, probably right. Bill says, Lou, you guys got to remember Marston. Love it. Yeah. There we go. With that, let's get out of here. Guys, joining the show tonight. It's been a good night. The Giants win it 9-0. Love
early game tomorrow, Dan. Early game.
Yeah, 9:00. Might be delayed, possibly. We'll see. Depends on the forecast, the rain. But it won't be delayed much. It looks like the forecast, if it gets delayed, probably would be starting around 10 o'clock our time. But they'll probably get it going at 9. And, let's hope the Giants can take some big strides tomorrow, right? And go
big
out
game tomorrow.
And knock the crud out of Strider. Let's see it. Let's see the Giants beat a really quality pitcher. If they do that, it tells me what I keep doing. I keep thinking they're dead, and then they come fighting back. This team has
another tease job by the Giants.
Back. They fought, they hang in there, and so if they win tomorrow, it tells me this team just has a lot of grit, which they've had. The 6-game losing streak would be a beautiful thing to see it win the final 2. So we'll find out.
Verlander can maybe get off the schneis.
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow. Ben says not going to happen. Sorry, Dan. I kind of think probably so as well. So, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm hopeful Giants do it tomorrow. I'm not counting on it though. I'm expecting, if you want to hit my prediction, I think we come back here tomorrow and the Giants lose it something
5-1.
Like doggone it, Lou, you took my score right out of my mouth.
9 runs again.
5-1.
Score 9 again, and then Verlander doesn't have to worry about it.
There we go. All right, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.